Chapter 1: The Murder in Broad Daylight on the Streets of Ravenport. The streets of Ravenport pulsed with life, but an undercurrent of tension rippled just beneath the surface. Inspector Mercer navigated the city's busy thoroughfares, his focus divided between the traffic ahead and the phone call. "Mercer," Evelynn Holt's voice cut through the hum of the engine, urgent and crisp. "We've got a situation on North Avenue. A woman has been shot in broad daylight. I need you on the scene immediately." "On my way," Mercer replied, his stomach tightening at the news. He accelerated, weaving through the late afternoon traffic as a sense of dread settled over him. When he arrived, a crowd of curious onlookers had gathered, their faces a mix of shock and intrigue, eyes wide as they strained against the yellow police tape that cordoned off the scene. The murmur of voices was a constant hum, punctuated by gasps and whispers. Mercer stepped out of his car, the cool air washing over him, bringing clarity amid the chaos. He flashed his badge at the officers managing the crowd, who stepped aside to let him through. The noise of the witnesses faded into a backdrop as he approached the heart of the scene. A woman lay sprawled on the pavement, a white sheet draped over her body. Even from a distance, the sight was jarring. He could already see signs of a struggle, scuff marks on the sidewalk, a discarded handbag lying a few feet away, its contents spilling out like secrets waiting to be told. Mercer pulled out his notebook and clicked his pen, the sound sharp and intrusive amid the noise of the crowd. He began jotting down notes, trying to focus as he surveyed the scene. "What do we have?" he asked one of the officers, a young cop with a look of shock still etched on his face. "Female, mid-20s, shot while walking down the street," the officer replied, gesturing toward the gathered witnesses. "They claim it was a robbery, but it doesn't add up. One witness claims she saw a man running right after the gunshot. She never got a good look at him." Mercer's brow furrowed. A robbery in broad daylight. Something felt off. He noted the location of the body, the details of the witnesses, and the position of the handbag. The city's pulse quickened in his ears as he contemplated the implications of such a brazen act. The officer who pulled the ID from the bag informs Mercer. "Her name's Amy Rosen. Works at Ravenbank, the largest bank in town." He handed Mercer a business card that had been tucked inside the handbag, displaying the bank's logo prominently. "So her name is Amy Rosen," Evelynn said, her tone serious. "What do you know so far?" "She works at Ravenbank," Mercer replied, glancing around at the witnesses. "They claim it was a robbery, but it doesn't sit right. I'm trying to get more details from the people here." "Good. Start digging into her background. We need to know if this is really just a mugging or if something darker is at play." Mercer nodded, even though she couldn't see him. "I'll see what I can find. I'll need access to her records and contacts." "Be careful, Mercer. This city has teeth, and sometimes it bites back," she warned. "I always am," he replied, though he knew that wasn't entirely true. Every case had its dangers, and this one felt like a loaded gun, ready to go off at any moment. As he hung up, Mercer took a deep breath, absorbing the weight of Amy's life and death hanging over him. He could feel the shadows closing in around him, but he was ready. With his notebook in hand, he returned to the witnesses, determination coursing through him. Just as he started to question a few of them, the atmosphere shifted. The shrill sound of sirens drew closer, and Mercer's attention turned to the road as news vans began to arrive, their bright logos shining under the waning sunlight. As he turned to leave, a news reporter rushed toward him, microphone in hand, eager for a scoop. "Inspector Mercer. What can you tell us about the incident? Is this related to any known criminal activity in Ravenport?" Mercer met her gaze with a calm professionalism. "I'm afraid the investigation has just started. No information will be shared with the public at this time. But surely you have something to share? This is a high-profile case, and the public deserves to know," she pressed, her tone insistent. "I understand your concern," Mercer replied, maintaining his composure. "But right now, our priority is to gather the facts. I won't be able to provide any further details." The reporter's brow furrowed, frustration evident as she tried to pry for more information. "Can you at least confirm if there are any suspects?" Mercer shook his head, feeling the weight of her scrutiny. "I'm sorry, but I have no comments at this time." With that, he turned away, stepping back toward the chaos of the scene, ready to delve deeper into the tangled web of questions surrounding Amy Rosen's death. Ravenbank and the mysterious men who had run away were clear leads he needed to follow up on.